What's up, everybody? First of all, thanks for coming and taking a look at the machine that I built here. So I don't normally do YouTube. Well, I don't do YouTube really at all. I've posted a couple of videos on some snowmobiling stuff, and a trip to Mexico, just some swimming with some turtles and whatnot. But honestly, other than that, I've never really done anything. So with that said, I apologize for quality of audio, video, the narrator, which would be me. Um, but the reason why I'm making this video is there was a YouTuber by the name of Killer Arcade Games who was gracious enough to take interest in the machine that I built here, and he put my machine along with a few others on one of his videos just recently, and I had a little bit of interest after that video was placed as far as just looking at the machine overall and posting a video. So for those folks that were interested, posting a video up here of the machine, go through a couple little things here. Again, I don't normally do this. I don't have any video editing software, so this is just going to be a long run-on video. So hopefully I can get this done and it doesn't get too wonky. But so one of the first things that I wanted to kind of show here, not a whole lot of interesting thing here, but so the arcade bezel, I did create that myself. So it's actually 4 pieces. So you got 1, 2, 3. That's up here. And then 4, and no, there's not speaker holes drilled into the front. That's here. That was one thing that Chris from Killer Arcade Games did mention. He is correct. This is certainly something that's not factory. So that's something to point out here as well, is that I actually created this cabinet. I did have some CAD drawings that I was able to find online that was able to give me the measurements, but otherwise everything is hand cut. The only thing that would be a caveat to that is the control deck itself. I did buy the wood and then the metal plate on eBay. And the reason for that is because this has to be precise. The sticker has to be precise. Everything's got to look right. And I don't have the correct size hole saws, and I just didn't really feel like doing all that. Not only that, but the way that the joysticks mount underneath, there's these little kind of areas where you screw into, and I just was like, you know what, for the money, I'll do that. But otherwise, everything else here is cut by hand. I don't have a machine, like a CNC machine basically. But I mean, it's all cut by, like skill saw and table saw and stuff. But so got the graphics off of eBay. I cannot remember the individual's name at this moment. But I got everything from that person with the exception of the Marquee. The Marquee was something that I saw on Retro Ralph's channel, or a dealer that I saw on his channel. One of the things that I kind of was bummed out a little bit here is that the spike on his shield got hidden. And that's on both sides, but it can't be perfect. The Marquee, I got this, like I said, from another person online. I cannot remember their names right now. I apologize for not being better prepared. But the reason why I got that from them is because they had both pieces of plexiglass. Well, it came with 2 pieces of plexiglass, so one in the back, one in the front, because I wanted to basically protect the front of this from getting beat up, and then on the back to support it as well. So, but they were pre-cut, and it was just like I don't have to deal with monkeying around with cutting plexiglass, so that was kind of cool. The only other real liberty that I took on this machine from factory is the blue edging. It's supposed to be black, and I don't know. I got the royal blue to try to match the buttons as good as possible. These all came from Tornado Terry. That I do remember. Again, off of eBay. Again, another guy that was referred to and spoken about by Retro Ralph. And yeah, one thing that I kind of was curious about, and maybe you guys, if anybody has any input. So the deck looks great. I love the colors of it. The blue up here looks great, but I don't remember the front of this being purple. To me, that kind of seems weird that these don't match better. So I did email the person that I bought this from on eBay, but unfortunately they never got back to me. So I wasn't really looking to complain, was just kind of asking. The coin door came off of a World Series baseball game cabinet that I bought on Craigslist. The reason why I bought that cabinet is at first I was like, wow, with wood being so expensive, it was just like, well, dude, if I can buy like a shell for like $100, it's probably cheaper, and I can just kind of do whatever. And then I got it home and I started looking at it, and I'm like, this thing is going to need so much more work, and I'll never be able to recreate what I want to create. And this is hands down always has been my favorite arcade game. Always. I mean, I love Mortal Kombat. I wouldn't say that I love Street Fighter. I definitely grew up with Street Fighter 2. I think I was like 14 when that came out. I was about 92, I believe. I was born in 78, so you do the math if you really want to. So definitely grew up in the arcade era of the 90s, but this machine has always been the one that I've always wanted. And with the price of them, they're insane now. So I decided just to build my own. So I apologize for not really showing any more of the software. You can see it's kind of going through a little, reel. But basically what this is this is Launchbox. It's actually the big box. So I paid for the big box part to be able to kind of do this front end. But you can see I've got some stuff on here. Definitely a few things. But for arcade, we'll go ahead and you can see I definitely have my Mortal Kombats in here. But for anybody interested in Killer Instinct specifically, boot this up real quick. So it's at a save state. I have save states enabled. So, but I mean, it runs real good. There's really no hiccups that I've noticed. Every once in a while, as with anything that you kind of do on your own, there's going to be little tweaks, things that you're going to have to do here and there. I mean, the software doesn't always work perfectly. As a matter of fact, when I was making this video, I had to reboot the computer like 3 times because the image wasn't popping up on the screen. So, this thing is not perfect. This is not like, something that is like commercial quality. It certainly is a home machine, but because I built it, because I know it, I know how to deal with its little nuances. But one other thing too that you might have noticed earlier in the video, I put this deck in here to be able to kind of have the ability to exit out of games. So that's my exit button. Another thing that I can do, at least in MAME, and I do have RetroArch on this as well, but for MAME, I can come in here, I can set any of the options. For some of the games that are in MAME that are older and don't allow for free play, I do have a coin, and then for right now, I can't remember what I set the other one as, but so they do different things in RetroArch, different things in MAME. I've thought about labeling them, but whatever. So really quick though, before I run out of time on my phone here, I've only got about a minute left of memory on my phone. Just real quick, give you an idea what the control deck looks like. Again, this was all built by hand. One of the things that I did have to do to get this TV in here is I did have to change the way that this backboard was built. Normally it would kind of come down here, but it was running into the TV. So this is a 43-inch TCL. It's a 4K TV. I figured, I'd get a 4K just in case in the future I get a better computer. Right now I'm just running a Dell Optiplex. It was one that Chris from Killer Arcade Games had recommended to me a while back. But yeah, so that's essentially it. I apologize for not giving more if you wanted more. I apologize for being too much if that's more than you wanted, but I am out of memory on my phone. Things just full. So see ya.